one could change the game, it was me. And I want her to be right.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
Welcome, Chocolatiers, back to another video. So we're talking about GOAT 2026. This morning you should have gotten 2 new reviews for Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and Crime 101, which I reviewed right before I went out to go see GOAT and Wuthering Heights, which we will be covering next. So like, subscribe for those. So GOAT, I was very excited to see. I knew that this was coming to us from Sony, and they decided after the Emoji Movie that they were going to lock in, and that's exactly what they've done. Ever since then, we've gotten the 2 Spider-Verse films, we've gotten probably some other things. Didn't they do Migration? Wasn't that them? But actually, no, that was Illumination, I think. And then they gave us K-Pop Demon Hunters, which I really, really loved once I finally got around to watching it last Christmas. And now they're giving us this. And so they were like, we're going to lock in. If only they would have done that with those Spider-Man movies, the live-action villain ones, then we would have been somewhere. But it's okay. They're locking in with this. And that's what I like. I love animation. So this film is kind of something you've seen before. And so I'm going to kind of grade it justly. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, well, it's cliche, they've done this and that, whatever, and then tell you that it's just okay. You have seen this film technically before, but it's still a good film. It's still a good story to tell. So in this film, you follow Will Harris, who is a GOAT, and he loves basketball. They call it something else. They call it like something ball, something like that. Pardon me, I've seen a lot of movies. Okay, I know I should remember what it's called. But anyways, they're playing. It's basketball. Okay, it's basketball, and here at the Zootopia basketball, they usually get bigger animals like giraffes, gorillas, rhinos, stuff like that, right? And they're not going to get you crickets to be playing this, right? And so they always have the saying, "Smalls can't ball." And his mother ends up passing away. It's very sad, very emotional. They don't really get into that fully. Like, it's not like that. It's not like Pixar where they're going to show you the scene and be like, "Damn, Mama, you died." They don't do that. It's just very alluded to, and like they do touch on it later on in the film. But yeah, his mother dies, and he's just kind of like working like a dead end job. Can't pay his rent. Very Spider-Man-esque, and he ends up going to a kind of like free-for-all where he's going to be playing the second best player in the league, Maine, who is voiced by, I just found out, Aaron Pierre, does a very great job voice acting this Mustang. And this Mustang, who's second best player in the league, gets his ankles broken straight up by this little bitty goat. And he ends up scoring 2 points on him. It's like best out of 3, or gets to 3 points. And of course, he ends up losing or whatever. And more people are realizing, they're like, wait a minute. Even though he lost, he still broke the brother's ankles and still scored 2 times on him without him even scoring once, right? And so he ends up getting this opportunity given to him to play for his hometown team. And there you have his, basically the best player of the league, Jet, who is voiced by Gabrielle Union. She's like the LeBron James of the league, right? She's like, the best player out there right now in their league or whatever, and everybody kind of knows it, but she's very selfish. She doesn't like passing the people. She, is kind of like a ball hog. She also doesn't let the coach, and she does, kind of like what a lot of star players do in modern day basketball. And so you have a lot of butting heads there, but the overall plot is basically him just being on the team. And that's kind of what you're getting, because they all want to win the trophy, because they've never won a trophy. Even though she is the best player in the league, they've never won. It's that bad out there in these streets, simply because she doesn't listen to anybody. And you find out slowly that it's her fault. And I really loved this film a lot. It's got a lot of heart on it. It wears a lot of the heart on its sleeve. It knows exactly what it is. The basketball scenes are really, really cool. They're really, really emotional. You get like one scene, for example, towards the end, where a team's kind of rallying together and they're finally playing like, in sync or whatever. And it's really a high note of the film. It's really great. This animation, I know it's not for everybody. It's very much like that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animation, the Spider-Verse animation of those recent films. And I really love that Sony does these type of animated films. It's very unique. It's not looking like Pixar. It's not looking like regular animation, like a regular like Disney or something like that. And I like that they have that unique style. Like I said, I know it's not for everybody, but for me, I liked it. The soundtrack is very phenomenal in this movie. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about that at all, but I think it's really, really cool. I think the culture, like for example, they get into shoes at one point briefly. For example, like, you know, even street ball, because that's kind of like where he gets his start, and stuff like that. And so I really think that this movie is going to hit for a lot of people, but only for people that like basketball. If you don't, it's basically telling you, like, if you don't like horror movies, why would you go watch something like Scream 7 in 2 weeks? If you don't like basketball, if you don't like, you know, animation, I guess, you're not going to like this clearly. But if you like both, this is going to hit it home. There's a lot of funny moments here. I think most of the comedy lands. Some of it doesn't, for sure. But most of it does land. And even though it is very cliche, it's a very cliche film that's very special because of how it's animated, because of what it's about and how they're, you know, doing this. Because like I said, you know, Zootopia gives us that, like, real life, you know, life, but it's animals, you know. And this film does that, except it's like, hey, play a basketball. Roarball, that's what it's called. I knew I'd remember. It's like it's been a long day. But yes, this film was really, really good. I really loved it a lot. I loved it a lot more than the second film I watched today. And yeah, I think I'm gonna give this film a 9 out of 10. I think it's very solid for me. And even like that too, if you're new on the channel, because get a little bit more viewers since we hit 1,000 subs. YouTube's been pushing out some of my stuff. If you're new on here, I kind of score based on rewatchability. This is something I'll rewatch. This is something that I would rewatch a lot of. If my friend contacted me and was like, hey, you trying to go watch GOAT tomorrow? I would go again. And so that's where a lot of my score goes into. Realistically, I guess you say it's like, oh, it's like an 8, 8.5. But for me, it gets those bonus points just because of how good it is, where I think it's very rewatchable. And so with that, like, subscribe for more. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this movie if you've seen it. And if you have not, are you going to go watch it? Are you excited? Does Caleb McLaughlin do anything for you as the voice of this GOAT? He did for me, by the way. I guess I should touch on that real quickly before I let you guys go. Great performances all across the board, but mainly from Caleb. Caleb is doing an outstanding job. I'm excited to see where he goes after Stranger Things, and for this to be his first project out of that, I'm going to tell you, hey, he the GOAT. This was so good. But yeah, with that, like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Won a game all season. You might be exactly what this